All right, so it's the night before my flight. Oh, hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to another video. So it's the night before my flight. I just finished packing. I just got back from Portland on Monday and I'm now heading to the East Coast. It's Thursday currently. It'll be Friday when I fly out. So my flight's at like 11 in the morning and I should get in, I think 9 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, but we'll be checking out a good amount of schools. The plan right now is to see as many as I can. I think for sure I'll be able to see Virginia, Georgetown, NYU, Columbia, and Harvard. TBD on UPenn and Yale. Just kind of depends on the trains and hotel prices and all that stuff, but I figured I'll just figure that out when I get there because I got too overwhelmed. Yeah, so anywhere from like 5 to 7 more schools, so hopefully this video will just be helpful and we can see what the areas are like and what the vibe is like. With that said, this is a vlog. I flew out to the East Coast, so I know at the beginning of this vlog I say that I'm going to be touring like a bunch of schools. I ended up only doing 2 in this one, and then I'm going to post the last tours in the other one. So in this video, it's going to be UVA and Georgetown, and then in the next video, it's going to be NYU, Columbia, Harvard, and Yale. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Make sure to like and subscribe. Give this video a big thumbs up. I really appreciate it. It's been fun seeing our community grow. Yeah, and I'd love to share anything I learn along the way, so be sure to comment with anything down below, and enjoy the video. Similar to my other vlog, if you saw that for UC Berkeley and Stanford, I'll link that. The plan is to start in Virginia, and then I'll see University of Virginia and Georgetown first, and staying with some friends there, and then staying with a friend in New York, and I'll see NYU and Columbia, or at least as much as I can, and then staying with a friend in Boston to look at Harvard. I'm gonna go to bed and get ready for a long day of travel tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Night. Good morning. Oh man, I did not sleep. Sorry, I guess my neighbor's leaving to work, but I didn't sleep well last night. I feel like I was clenching my jaw like the entire night. So that was a bummer. Woke up with a headache, so took some medicine. Last time I flew to Atlanta for work, I had a crazy headache. I don't know what it was from, like elevation sickness or something, but I'm bringing medicine with me this time. But yeah, so it's like 7:40 right now. I made a coffee. My laptop got a virus. So I had to restore it yesterday. So I need to get logged in and access to all my work accounts again before I head to the airport in an hour. But yeah, I don't know, feeling a little rough. Hopefully it just goes up from here. All right, we made it to the airport. I'm going to my gate. I don't have carry-on bags, so that's nice. We'll see if I packed enough. And yeah, not gonna lie, a little stressed. Crazy to fly right now. So we made it through security, easy peasy. That was actually probably one of the easiest security checks I've had. I'm gonna try and get some food just because I've heard there's like no food on flights. And we'll be traveling all day. So maybe we'll grab some muffins and stuff. So we made it to Atlanta. Our next flight, well, my next flight, it's gonna be boarding soon, so I didn't really have a lot of time to do anything or eat, which is fine. I don't know, I don't feel super hungry. So I'll be boarding that. I didn't shoot a lot of footage from the last flight because I'm sitting in the aisle. So I'll get to Virginia at about 9 p.m. Going well so far. It's actually been really smooth. Only had one crying kid. Pretty positive. Okay, so we made it to Richmond, Virginia. It's about 9:40. I'm gonna go get picked up, get some food, shower, all that stuff. Yeah, so it's probably the end of the vlog for tonight. But yeah, gonna get picked up by some friends I haven't seen in a minute, and I'll talk to you later. I'm about to step out into the humidity. All right, Made it to Virginia. I'm gonna go to bed. All right, good morning. So just woke up a little jet lagged and it looked really nice out. It's Saturday. Mostly just hanging out and catching up today. No school tours likely, but maybe going to University of Virginia, we'll see. It's cool to see Virginia with the sun out now. I've never been here, so it's such a different vibe, especially than the West Coast schools. Very humid. It was supposed to like thunderstorm and rain today, but it's not, so that's pretty cool. At least it's not right now. I'll show you some of the area of where I'm at, and then yeah, we'll get on with the weekend. Right, so today we are, what day is it? It's Sunday. So today we're going to drive into DC and honestly just take a look around. Hopefully gonna shoot some of that as we drive up from Richmond and show you some of Georgetown, whatever we can see, and then the just surrounding area. I've never been to DC before, so I'm pretty excited. Yeah, and we're gonna get on the road. Okay, so we made it to DC. Not gonna lie, the freeways kind of suck. I'm not a great navigator here. We're right next to the law school, so we'll see if we can check that out at all. Might be a little locked up, and then just look around. Okay, so we checked out the school. Couldn't see too much, which was fine. We're gonna look at monuments now, like this giant sword.
Joe.
All right, so we just got back from Washington, DC. So we saw Georgetown's law campus, at least the outside. We saw a lot of memorials and monuments, which was really fun. So my friend Maddie walked us around. We got to see the Washington Memorial, or the Washington Monument, and then the Lincoln Memorial. So I'll include that footage, but I'm freaking tired. So I'm gonna shower, have a chill movie night, and then I'll give you some thoughts on vibes and area and campus tomorrow. All right, good morning. So today I'm going to be going to University of Virginia to check out the campus. So I'm probably gonna do that earlier actually, because I forgot I'm on the East Coast, so I realized everyone's still asleep. I'm probably gonna save all my reviews similar to the last video for the end, just to see how that goes. But we head to Virginia. So I went to a coffee place and My friend and I had been here earlier this week, and they have like bulk orders that you can get in a bag, right? So I walk up and I was like, hey, do you guys have any of those coffee sacks? But this was a different location, I didn't realize. So same company, different location. And they were like, what? And I was like, you know, like the coffee that comes in a bag, like the big bags. Like, you can't tell me this is not a coffee sack. They're like, oh, the cold coffees? Yeah. But I was like, I just ordered a sack of coffee. Like, what the fuck? Okay, so we made it to UVA. I figured out parking, I hope, because I took my friend's car, so hope it doesn't get towed. So I have to walk a little far back to the law school just because all the law school parking was permitted, which makes sense. It definitely feels like a much larger campus, very different from Georgetown for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna make my way over there, do my work call, and just record whatever I can. All right, so I finished my meeting, went pretty well. I made it to the law campus. It seems like the business school is under construction. They said I should be able to go inside and look around, so I'm gonna try and do that, which would be the first time I've been able to actually go into a law campus, but I'll shoot some of the externals, and then if I can, show you around inside, but low-key, I'm a little nervous because it looks like there are people around here already, so I'm kind of like, ugh. Anyway, but yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, I got a map so I can look around. Okay, so I looked around the school, pretty cool. It's the first one I've actually been able to go inside of, which is nice. But I will say, I think I'm getting more imposter syndrome the more I like tour schools, right? Like I know what my stats are, and I know I can write like a proficient personal statement at least. But yeah, I don't know, like the more I'm here, and I think especially because this one, there's like some students. Since there's some students here, it just feels like weird, and I feel like people keep like staring at me. I'm like, is it because I'm holding a water bottle? Like I feel like I don't look like I stick out that much because I don't know, just like a normal human walking around. I was hoping touring law schools would make me more excited to like keep editing my personal statement and get all that done, which will get done eventually. Yeah, right now I think I just feel stressed. So yeah, it was cool to actually see the school, so that was really nice. It was the first one I've been inside of. Really pretty, very air conditioned, which is nice. It's not too hot today, honestly, but the East Coast is just way more humid than the West Coast, so I don't mind it. All right, what up everyone? So it's the afternoon now, but yeah, I'm gonna work on my personal statement now. So ultimately I can't, well, I guess I could, but I'm choosing not to reuse the personal statement I used last year just because, you know, it's been a year, a few things have changed. So I'm gonna try and give some updates while still keeping my personal statement compelling and including some of the narratives I included last time just because I think they're memorable and still indicative of why I want to go to law school. So, and I'll probably make a separate video for this, but as far as what I'm thinking right now, the goal is just to really communicate and give compelling reasons why I want to go to law school. So just refining those, making, I guess, my case for why I'm going to law school. I'm going to keep refining, keep updating, and hopefully improving my personal statement. And yeah, and then tomorrow's my last day in Virginia, so it's just an update on the vlog, and then we head to New York. Alright, so I am done working on my personal statement for the day. I think I've made some good improvements. I'm getting more clarity on like what I want to update. Yeah, I don't know, like working on that type of stuff always kind of throws me a little bit, and then after I've worked on it for a few hours and I read it, it doesn't feel as good as I thought it did, or like is as emotionally impactful or compelling or says something about me. But yeah, but just trying to make it fresh and interesting and also communicate just different characteristics I have, you know, mostly like being driven, being tenacious, being queer. Like that's a big part of my personal statement and just identity. I'm hoping that that is good enough and that I can do that in 2 pages, double space. So a lot of work to go. Also, not gonna lie, I'm gonna kind of miss this view in Virginia. Maybe I'll come back one day. Who knows? Look at those clouds. Okay, what up everyone? I feel like every vlogger on YouTube always has like the sitting on the floor part of the vlog. Eating some overnight oats for breakfast. It's my last day in Virginia, so I wanted to go over my overview of the campuses. Pretty good. I didn't make this, my friend did, so props to the chef. But let's start with Georgetown since it was the first school I saw. We're gonna start with the vibe. So, oh man, this is a hard one because the vibe of Georgetown, so Georgetown Law is not actually next to the main Georgetown campus. So if that's something that you're looking for is like a law school that feels a part of a larger campus, just something to keep in mind. But if you are looking for a school that's like right in the middle of a city and like feels like you like step out of class and you're like in a city, it's a good school for that. So I'd never been to DC and it's just like wild. Like I can't think of anywhere else I've been except for maybe when I was abroad in like Rome that like kind of feels like DC, not because of the architecture or anything, but just because there's so many different things there and it's so eclectic. So it just feels like a lot of different areas are converging, you know, which is why I think a lot of people go to Georgetown. They're interested in politics and there's a lot of work experience. So I mean, for me, those aren't necessarily things that I'm interested in, but just the vibe of the city overall, I'm going to give like, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I was debating between a 6 and a 7 just because of everything that's gone on this last year, you know, like Washington DC, whenever anything is happening in the US is going to be a pretty active and not very like peaceful area, I'd say, which, you know, isn't positive or negative. It just kind of depends what you want. And like I said, some of my priorities are having a separation between school and life, and I just don't know if I'd get that there. There also is a lot of good food. I want to include this in the vibe part. There's a lot of good food and that's really nice, and like a ton of monuments and things to do. And then we'll do the area, so the surrounding area, so kind of builds off vibe. There's so much to do. Like I didn't even have time to do most of the museums. Did get to see a lot of the monuments and memorials, so that's really, really cool. But depending on your law school goals and what you want to do with your career, there's a ton of experience you can get there. So I definitely think that that's a huge pro. But I also think it is kind of like hustle bustle and like you're gonna be grinding and it's a pretty competitive school. So culture-wise, that's something to keep in mind. But the surrounding area itself is really, really pretty. It was super humid, at least for me, because I'm from California, and my friend who lives in DC that showed us around said that that was actually a pretty moderate day. So I did not like driving around it. Honestly, the streets were awful. I know people say California traffic is bad, but like driving around here, sometimes I'm like, I don't know what is going on. So I give the area, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I think there's a ton to do. I think it's really cool. The only thing is like the weather, but you know, the campus itself, so we couldn't see inside the campus and it was pretty small. And like I said, it's not connected to the larger campus, which is kind of a bummer because I do like feeling integrated, even if I'm not gonna be like walking around with the undergrads or utilizing all the other space on campus. I've heard really great things about their library. There's a cool courtyard. It seemed like there's a lot of buildings, but you do kind of just walk right out into the city and there was nothing like super notable, I felt like campus wise that was like sticking out. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was really good. I wouldn't be upset being there. Second school I've seen, University of Virginia. Definitely feels a lot more college campusy. Like as soon as you drive on campus, you're like, no, you're on a college campus. The vibe is really cool. Unlike DC, it's like a lot more woodsy. A ton of trees though, like DC has a lot of trees, but this, like, you feel like you're in the woods. Like that is one thing I've noticed about Virginia in general, is like it's so green. So that's really, really cool. I really like it. Like you've probably seen from a lot of the B-roll. It just has such a cool vibe. Like the buildings are so different, especially from West Coast buildings. So vibe-wise, I'd give it an 8. Honestly, it might just be because there were students on campus, so it was cool to see people around. There was people like talking. There was benches under trees. Like it was nice, and I was actually able to go onto like inside of the law school, so it was open. So that was nice. I had a mask on, which was good. So the surrounding area, like I said, it's on a campus. So if that's something you really enjoy and like you want to feel like you're in your academics, like immersed in it, that might be important. But there was like a rec area and the law school. It's kind of nice because it's on the campus, but it's in an area that's with the other grad schools. So you're not necessarily just like in the middle of an undergrad or anything. And there was also like restaurants and things like pretty close by to campus. It wasn't like there was nothing, and it seemed like there was a lot of hiking trails, and so if you're kind of outdoorsy, it might be really good. So I'd give the area an 8 as well. I thought that it was really nice. And then campus wise, yeah, I mean, I really liked the campus. Like I said, it was one of the few schools I was able to go into. It was nice. There was a big lawn. There's a lot of seating. There was a ton of common areas and tables that you could sit at and study or chat in between classes and get food. So that was really nice. The library, the law library is like right there, right next to your classes. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like the campus overall was really nice. The only thing is their colors are orange and blue, which is just something I noticed. I don't know. They're complementary colors, but they're pretty bright. So if that's something you care about, keep it in mind. But yeah, I mean, it was really nice overall. Like the inside of the building was really, really clean. It felt professional. It felt nice. It felt like somewhere you could focus, which I like because, you know, like I said, that separation of school and life does matter to me. So it's nice feeling like I could be on campus, get my stuff done, leave, and then try and like check out, just so that way I'm not driving my partner crazy and I'm not like burnt out all the time. Yeah, so I mean, campus wise, I think I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. I thought it was really good, like just consistent overall. Like UVA was really nice. I don't know, it might attract a little bit more of a conservative student body, but unsure. And same with Georgetown, like that is one thing, just being like near the capital, things typically do run a little more conservative. Like I'm in Richmond right now and there's like Robert E. Lee statues so that's a trip, you know, BLM for sure. And it's kind of cool to see though, like the Black community's kind of like graffitied it, and they had a community garden next to the statue, so they've kind of taken it back, which is really cool. But also, so today is September 8th, and it was actually just on the news that this statue was removed. So that's pretty cool to see progress being made. But yeah, so who knows if they'll replace it with something else, but kind of wild that I got this footage when I did, because now that statue no longer exists, and we get to continue seeing social progress. So it's a little fun update from the future. Like, as my partner and I are going to events or walking around, like, would we feel comfortable and safe? Like in DC, I definitely think so, even though it is more conservative. But there is also like a weird air in this area of like, what do you do for work? And like that kind of culture, like who do you know? Which I guess is kind of similar to LA. So I'm kind of used to that. But because people like work in government, sometimes they're like, oh, I just work like at the White House, or I work like in the government, and like they can't really tell you what they do, which is wild. You know. So yeah, I want to do that though before I go to New York. So I head to New York tomorrow morning really early on the train, and I'll be staying with a friend there, and I'll see NYU and Columbia. I don't think I'll be able to see inside, so NYU might just look like shots of Washington Square. I decided to skip going to Penn just because I was so exhausted and it would be so much money. You know, if I get in, I'll go and tour. Like, I think Penn's a great school. It's definitely on my list of schools I would love to go to. It has a really, really strong reputation for positive LGBT. You know, that does matter. Like, that does matter to me at the end of the day. Yeah, but that's where we're at so far, and I'm gonna do some work today, do some laundry, like refresh my clothes for New York, and then we'll head to New York, and then hopefully Connecticut, and then Boston from there, if all things go as planned. So see you on the train. All right, you guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this a big thumbs up and like and subscribe and turn on the bell, all those things. It really helps, and I've just been loving connecting with all of you. It's been super, super cool. As you can tell, this is the end of this video because the vlog was just getting so long, so I decided to split it into two. So this was the UVA and Georgetown vlog, and then I'm going to be doing NYU, Columbia, Harvard, Yale, all in the next one. I also think I just filmed less because I was getting tired at the end of my trip. Hopefully this is a helpful video. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments, or hit me up on Instagram and Twitter. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!